Good morning, everybody. Is it audible? How are you? My name is Anup Garg. I am one of the co-founders of Programming Pathshala. Welcome everybody to the Winter Boot Camp. So a lot more people are joining in. Before we begin, I'll just quickly introduce myself and Programming Pathshala and what are we going to do. Is that a good idea? Yes, no? So I am a graduate of IIT BHU in 2015, and then we started Programming Pathshala in our college to help people learn coding and get started with tech jobs. And reason was very simple that 96% of the jobs that were coming to the campus were software engineering jobs. And that might be happening with you also if you are in a college, right? So 95%, 98% of the jobs in the campus these days are software engineering jobs, and people are not prepared for it. So that is the reason we started it, and we have been teaching for 5-6 years now. We have developed programs spanning for 6 months, 1 year. The purpose of Programming Pathshala is to help people believe in themselves. When we say help people believe in themselves, is that so often we find people who are not confident about themselves, their skills, what they can do, what they can achieve, things like that. Or people will be like, "Oh, I'm not even sure if I'll get a job," isn't it? So many times we come across folks who are really, really intelligent, who are really good, but may not be confident about themselves. So for them it is really important, if they want to create an impact in their lives, they have to be confident about themselves. So that is the vision of Programming Pathshala, and I want that each of you who are here in this boot camp for next 15 days, they'll feel much more confident about themselves after a very rigorous practice of whatever we'll be learning here. So with me, Bharat is here in this workshop. Bharat is a graduate of IIT BHU from 2018 batch. He has worked at Tau Research Capital. Tau Research Capital.
Yeah, hi everyone. Am I audible? I think his network got disconnected. Okay. Yeah, so as he was saying that I am also here. So I am Bharat, again one of the co-founders. I am IIT BHU 2018 graduate and from CSC, and worked at Tower Research for 2 years, approximately 2 years. And then because of my love for teaching, you can say, I decided to
Because
join
he was
this.
very passionate about teaching.
Yeah, he's back, I think. Are you back, Anubya?
Yes.
Yeah.
So now let's start. So today we'll be discussing more about like we'll be starting with how to go about the boot camp, what are the prerequisites, how we'll be doing the classes, and in the beginning time, whatever questions you might have about the boot camp, just get started with it. I and Bharat will be here to answer. So Bharat will start. Yeah, Bharat, please go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So I'll share my screen. Can everyone see the screen? Yeah, great. So hi everyone. So I'll first go about 1 second. Yeah. So we'll quickly once go about how it is like the next 18 days are going to look like. So in general, what you can say is that there are around 4 or 5 important aspects corresponding interview preparation, right? One of which that we are going to cover in this boot camp, like parts of it, is problem solving, which basically encapsulates data structures and algorithms, right? DSA. So first prerequisite for this workshop is that you should be comfortable with at least one programming language. Can I assume that from everyone? Are you all comfortable writing simple logic in any one programming language? Yes or no? Okay, great. Then that's sorted. Apart from this also, there are 3-4 other aspects. So I'll talk about those in the coming time. But so you can explore them on their own, or even you can look at our own website. Like, so the portal that you have been given access to, there are videos on those parts as well. Anyways, moving on. So how we'll structure each day. So I'll mostly post some kind of Python is okay. C++, Java, Python, anything works, right? Even if you are doing in JavaScript, C#, we have helped students like that. So don't worry about it. Okay. Yeah. Cool. So what I was saying is that how it is going to look like how we are going to go ahead with the course. So as you know, you have been given an access to a portal, programmingpathshala.com. Some of you, those who had made an account. Those who have not, I would advise you to quickly go here and just create an account, take a free trial. So in some time, an automated script runs, which will give you guys the access, right? So like those who have registered for this bootcamp. So you'll have access equal to the time duration of this bootcamp. Does that make sense? So if you have not created an account here, please do that, right? So what will happen is I'll give you some pre-read, or you can say pre-watch material, that before you come to a lecture, you should at least do little bit of basics of that particular topic, I can say. Like, for example, if you're starting recursion, I'll give you some pre-watch material, some 2, 3, 4 videos, which you can watch in your own time, right? And then come to that lecture. Then once you are here in this 2-hour lecture, we'll try to quickly discuss that, like revise that. Plus, what I'll do is I'll also take up some good problems and we'll try to solve them together. Does that make sense? So some pre videos that you can watch. Then we'll discuss, we'll summarize that, and then we'll go ahead and do like some more advanced problems on that. Okay. Apart from that, what you can do is I'll also, like, after the end of the lecture, I'll also post certain questions that you can attempt. So they will also be available on the same dashboard. So you can just go there, attempt those questions. If you have doubts, there is a discussion forum attached. You can just simply click on discuss and ask your doubt there, right? Can you show a quick tour of dashboard? Sure, I'll do that in a moment, right? But these are the 3 steps basically: pre-watch material, then come to the lecture, then there will be assignment problems which you can attempt again from the dashboard. So dashboard plays an important part here, right? So if you have not created an account, again I'm saying just do so. Okay. Is that okay?
Want me to give a quick walkthrough of the dashboard?
Yes. I was going to say that we'll do next.
We'll then you can.
I'll only give. Okay. Actually, I don't have it open here. I'll do that in a moment.
Okay, then I'll do that from.
Okay, we'll be coding in C++. The portal is based on C++. No, it is not. Only the first module, which is module 0, is starting with C++, right? We also have starting with Java and Python coming up. Like, they are going to be added soon. So it's not like DSA part is focused only on C++. It's just the first module, which you don't need to look at if you know a particular language. Okay. So yeah. I'll quickly give you all a quick walkthrough just so that you know how to go about it. Can you all see my screen? Yeah. So as an example, if let's say I tell you that, okay, we are starting with recursion. So what you can do, I'll say is that, okay, revise the first 4 to 5 lectures of recursion and then come to the class. So you'll go here, like this is the first lecture of recursion. This is the second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one. So there'll be small lectures and you can just go through them and see if you are able to understand the concept, right? If you face any doubt, just go to this discussion forum part, punch in your doubt here. We are informed at every doubt, so someone will be there to answer. Does that make sense? Yes or no? Then we'll also be giving some assignment and homework problems. Okay. Unable to access, yeah. So just make an account. In some time the script will run to give you all the access, right? Just create a free account for now, Pavan, and you will be given access. Okay. And similarly, there are assignments and homework. So you'll be said that attempt these problems from the assignment and these problems from the homework section. So you can just go ahead, watch videos here, whichever is there. Sign with Google. Okay, yeah. Like both options are running. That's perfectly okay. And you will be given problems from here. Am I making sense? Is that okay with everyone? Yes or no? Okay. Can you please remove any pop-ups? Okay, which is the pop-up? Okay, cool. Is that fine? Yeah. So yeah, this is the dashboard. You can also track your progress later on if you want to get into more depth than we are doing. You can also do other stuff. So for example, if you have time, let's say you like the part involved in the course is only till, let's say, this part, then you can just go ahead and read the other parts as well. Okay, so that's up to you. If you want to explore more and you want to try more things here, that's up to you. Okay, this will be blocked again. Yeah, Ishan. So this is only available till the time of the boot camp. Yeah, so that's about dashboard. Anubhe, anything to add here?
No, I think good to go. Throughout these next 5-7 minutes, whatever introduction is happening, if you have any questions, you can please feel free to put them in the chat.
Yes. So now I look like, can we use the pause days? You can. You can if you want to extend, right? But during the pause time, you won't be able to access the content. So yeah, but you are attending this, so you might be using it, right? So yeah, you can start free trial. Will the automated script will quickly give you the access, so don't worry about it. Okay, for now you start the free trial. Okay, anything else? Anyone? I'm able to access. Okay, yeah. So you must have an account earlier, so it would have given you access. Cool. Anything else? Anyone who has any doubts till now? No? Okay. Cool then. So as I said, we'll be focusing on DSA. So our structure will look like that. Will like today's class will be an overview of interview preparation, how we can go about it. From tomorrow, we'll start the first topic, which is recursion. And what exactly level will you cover? So I'll try to go from the basic, but I'll also try to read some medium and hard questions, right? So I'll try my best that at least we do one hard question and one or two medium questions, right? In any topic. Okay, that will be the level. So cool. Apart from that, timing of the classes, some people were asking about that. Timing will have to remain same, which is this time every day. Okay. Yeah, so that's the thing. Please change the timing. It's not possible. So what I would advise in that case is, exactly, so many people were saying that it's perfect, some people are saying it's not perfect, so it will never be perfect for everyone, right? So what we can try doing is, if you miss a class, I'll also post that these were the important parts that were covered, and in your own free time as a lecture, you just go ahead and watch those from the dashboard. Is that okay? So whoever is not able to attend a particular class, I would just post on the group that these are the lectures, corresponding lectures that we have covered. So if you want, just go ahead and like attend those, right? It will not be interactive, but you will not miss at least. Okay. How to think in an interview in short time? We'll try to do all that. So it's just a 15-day thing. So that's an art, right? That takes time. It cannot be learned in, I would say, 10 days. But we'll try. So what I'll do is, whatever pattern I select, so I'll talk more about what patterns are, but whatever pattern I select that will be covering this pattern, I'll try to do it in such a way that you are able to do any problem on that pattern, right? And there will be some patterns left, then I'll tell you about that these patterns are still left, which you can explore on your own. Okay. Yeah. I understand all those constraints. Just so what we can do is, for everyone, we can try recording this and posting it somewhere, probably on YouTube as a private video or something like that. where you guys might be given access. So we'll think something about that, or we'll give some like recorded points from the dashboard only to read. Okay, that's the best we can do for now, right? Cool. So anything apart from timings, Saurabh, it's all okay. Like, so we'll like, you can try to adjust a little bit, and then other times you can try to probably do it from the dashboard, right? So let's keep it like that for now. If many people are facing issues, we can think about that. Okay, so if no questions, then we'll start. So today what I'll do is I'll try to cover all the 4 important aspects that correspond in an interview preparation, right? So 4 important stuff, I would say, that you need to know to crack any good company. Okay, so I'll start with them one by one. First, obviously, you all know, is problem solving. Which encapsulates DSA. Okay, so let me ask you guys, what do you think is encapsulates problem solving? Like, what is covered in problem solving, and why do companies ask this? It's a debate, right? Companies should not ask DSA, companies should ask development, but why do you think they stick to this problem solving? We'll take up a question also, but before that, let's clearly understand what we are going to learn. So anyone who has an answer? Mental level. Okay, but there are other ways to check that then, right? There's an aptitude, there is stuff like that, different tech, maybe checking good. Exactly. So Setul has given a good point. First of all, different companies have different techs, right? I was talking to someone on Google, they use React, but they don't use React, they use their own wrapper on top of React. Okay, so even if you know React, it's like a new language, it's like learning a new language. So someone who is good with fundamentals will be able to quickly pick up a new language or a new framework, right? So that is one of the main reason that they go for this. Why not go for aptitude? Because they want something which is at the intersection of programming also, right? We need to have something which intersects programming as well as logical ability. So that's why they go for problem solving and DSA. Now, important thing in this is pattern recognition. So what do I mean by pattern recognition? I'll give you a small, very small example, and you'll be able to relate to it. How many of you know about binary search? Do you all know what binary search is? Anyone who does not, just type in a no. Anyone who does not? Okay, many of you know, right? So anyone who does not know, I'll give you a quick example. Let's say you had to search for a word in dictionary, right? GUJ. What do? Do you start, open the dictionary at the first page, go through all the words, next go through all the words, go through all the words? Do you do this if you have to search for any particular word? No, right? Everyone? No, you don't do this. What do? You will open a random page and see, do I search on the left or do I search on the right? Yes or no? Let's say you open a random page, there the word is monkey. So you know this starts with M, this starts with J. I'll search on the left side. Yes or no? Do you all agree with this? So a similar concept, right? So basically M comes after J, right? So I'll search on the remaining portion. So similar concept was taken and put into a sorted array for searching in a sorted array. So as an example, let's say you are given a sorted array. Everyone understands what an array is, right? Just a collection of similar objects. You can call it a list also if Python is what you are familiar with, right? Everyone is okay with this? A sorted array. It's arranged in ascending order. So let's say you want to find any number, right? Let's say 3. What do? You check the middle and then see, okay, my element should be on the left. So you only search in this part now, and you say this part is useless. Am I making sense? Everyone? So that reduces your time. Otherwise, what you would have done is you would have started at the beginning, gone through every element, and it would have been, if it would have been the last element, it would have taken a lot of time. Here, what you do, split, divide into two parts and conquer whichever part you want to. Am I making sense? Yes or no? Okay, cool. So what do I want to point out here? What brings us to the conclusion that we can use binary search? When do we use binary search? What do you think? Sorted array is the wrong answer, right? Think a little bit more. What do you, what pattern do you see here? When can we use something like binary search? Sorted search space, okay? A better word probably. So I'll tell you what we think here, right? So if I am able to tell landing at any point, will my answer be on the left or will my answer be on the right? Can I use binary search? If I take a random point and if I'm able to predict if my answer is on the left or my answer is on the right, can I use binary search, right? So I'll give you a small example. Let's say I have been given an array which will have some ones, then some zeros, then some twos. This is not sorted, okay? But let's say I want to find first two. Can I use binary search? Just think about it. No, lower bound won't work. This is not sorted. Lower bound won't work. It is not sorted, right? This might have been something else. This might be 3, right? I'm not saying it has to be 2, okay? It has to be 0. But basically, what I'm trying to point out here is that in this case, what happens if we are landing ever on a 1 or a 0, I am sure that my answer will be on the right side. Yes or no? If we land on any 1 or any 0, my answer will be on the right side. If I land on any 2, my answer will be on the left side if it is not the first one. Yes or no? Do you all agree? So basically, picking any point, I can tell whether my answer is on the left or my answer is on the right. So why not use binary search? I'll pick the middle. If it's 1 or 0, I'll do search on the right. Or if it's 2 and not the first 2, that is previous is not the 2, then I'll search on the left. Yes or no? Everyone? Can we use binary search here? Okay. Take a moment and think and reply. Am I making sense till now? If any questions, please ask. Okay. So what is important in this binary search pattern is a separating condition. Something that tells you that whatever is on the left, whatever is on the right are two extremely distinct things. Ishan, in that case also, if I land on a 1 or a 3, I'll say I'll go left, right. And if I land on a 2, I'll go left. That is what I'm saying, right? But I'm not saying we'll find any. The conditions will be laid out in the question. The question says, first we have a bunch of 1, then we have a bunch of 3, then we have a bunch of 2. You have to find the first 2. So even if this is the question, if you land on 1 or 3, you know what you have to find is on the right. If you land on 2, what you have to find is on the left. So what we have is a clear separating condition, something that distinctly tells that your right side and left side are very, very different. for the answer. Am I making sense? Yes or no, everyone? So this is a pattern. What is the pattern? Whenever your answer divides the array into two parts, which are different in certain respect, you can use binary search there. Okay. When you say find and there is some ordering, then we can use binary search. Yeah. So I'll repeat what the statement that I said. So I'm saying if your answer divides the array into two halves such that there is a clear separating condition between them, that left will look like this, will have this condition, right side will look like this and have this condition, then we can use binary search. Is that okay, Manav? So here that clear condition was left side will have 1 and 3, right side will only have 2. So there is a clear picture which separates left and right half. Okay, cool. So this is part of pattern building which you have to do. If you learn this, so there are around 50 patterns in total, I would say, at max. So if you are able to recognize those 50 patterns in any question, then almost 95% of the questions you'll be able to do. 5% there would be some exceptions and all that stuff, but at least 95% question you'll be able to crack in one go. Okay, cool. So pattern recognition is important. This is the first part, problem solving. I'll quickly cover the rest 3 concepts also. Then we'll take up a problem and try to do solving the problem from scratch, right? Another important thing here is this is again very difficult, but making certain observations and proving them. Okay, I'll give a small example here also. How we are able to take some observations and prove them later. So let's say a question says we are given an array. Okay, and what we need to do is we need to find 3 numbers from the array whose product is maximum. Okay, can you do it for this particular case? Find 3 numbers from this array whose product is maximum. Okay, Tanush has given an answer. Others? Yeah. Okay. 1085. Someone has also given 1085, which is a good enough guess, right? So in first look, it just seems like I'll take the top 3 elements. How many of you thought of this first? I'll take the top 3 elements. Yes or no? In an interview heat of the moment, you would have gone for this, right? Even I, in some time, might have gone for this, that you're given an array. Let's say someone asks, you are given an array, find 3 numbers whose product is maximum or whose sum is maximum. I'll directly jump to the conclusion, I'll take the top 3. Yes or no? That's how we'll answer this. But the intricacy here is that number might have negatives. So if array has negatives, then what can happen is when I multiply 2 negatives, it might create a big positive number which I can use. Does that make sense? Yes or no? The problem. For example, here if I take the top 3, 10, 8, 5 versus if I take minus 20, minus 10 and 10. This will be bigger than this. Can everyone see that? Yes or no? So sometimes the first instinct or the first observation is not correct, right? So before answering in an interview, you can try to quickly prove it. How do you try to quickly prove it? You will just think of all the different cases, right? So it might seem like a huge thing, how to think of different cases. So in array, what kind of numbers can you have? Positives, negatives, zeros. You can have some decimals. You can have some huge numbers whose product maybe goes out of bound. So if you do enough practice, you will be able to point out these are the things that I need to look for. Similarly, if you talk about linked list, what kind of cases could be there? Empty linked list, single node linked list, odd length linked list, even length linked list. Can there be a loop? These kind of cases, right? In trees, empty tree, only left side, only right side, and these kind of cases. So with every common data structure that is given in the question, you will be able to formulate, okay, these are the common things that I need to check for. So before blurting out a solution in an interview, it's a good idea to take your time and try to prove it. You can even talk while trying to prove it, that this is the first observation that comes to mind. Let me try to see if I'm correct or not, right? And then try to take some cases and see if it works or not. Okay. Orally or through coding. So first you need to discuss logic. In an interview, always first discuss logic, that this is what I'm thinking. These are the cases that I'm trying. And then he'll help you. Okay, try this case also. Will it work? Once you have both decided that, okay, this approach seems fine, then code it out. Am I making sense? Yes or no? So observation, and very important, proving the observation, right? Is it a good practice to write brute force and then optimize? Generally, yes. Generally, yes. Okay. First would be, obviously, you will give, I'll write 3 loops and do that, right? So that part I have skipped. I hope everyone knows that. Yeah. Cool. Moving on. So let's solve this question, right? Let's not keep it unsolved. So in that case, now what do you think? What is the next step? Next step that people do that I've seen is very interesting, that they'll say, I'll take the maximum 3 absolute values. Okay. Again, do yourself a favor. Try to prove or disprove this. If I say I'll take the maximum 3 absolute values, is that right or is that wrong? Yes. So I'll do a quick switch over here. I'll just remove this minus. So if I take the top 3 now, minus 20, 10, 10, what will be the product? Minus 2000, which is absolutely wrong. Yes or no? Everyone? So yeah, so by this time your interview is probably over and he's decided that he'll not select you, right? Because first you gave a wrong approach, then you countered it with another wrong approach, and then it's done, right? So yeah. Now think, what can we actually do here? Max bin heap, don't go there right now. So when to use heap? There are some patterns when to use heap. Don't jump to random DS like out of the blue. Okay. Number of negative numbers should be even. Exactly. Great Apurva. So she has given a good observation that if we have even negatives, then what happens? Their product becomes positive. Yes or no? If I have even negatives, their negatives cancelled and the product becomes positive. Okay. I had to select 3 numbers. So either I'll select no negative, all 3 positives, or what could be the other case? Right. 2 negatives and 1 positives. Okay. Again, we have an observation, right? Is everyone clear with this observation? Type in yes or no. That either we need to take all 3 positives or we need to take 2 negatives and 1 positive. Okay. Can we prove or disprove this? Again, does it work for all cases? It's still an observation. Think, does it work for all the cases? Great, Suraj. Right. So our case depends upon having at least one positive. What if all are negative? Can you all see that? Everyone? This case also assumes you have 3 positives. This case also assumes you have 1 positive. So there is no case when we don't have any positives, right? So there is a case of all negatives, in which case you have to take all negatives. But what will those negatives be? The smallest, right? Taking these is better than taking top 3. Is everyone able to understand this case? All negatives, yes or no? We need to take the bottom 3, like basically absolute wise bottom 3, actually top 3. Okay, cool. So now you have all the cases and you can just code it out, right? If we have all negatives, I'll write a separate case. If we have all 3 positive, I'll write a separate case, or otherwise I'll take this also. So just you can try it out and try to reduce if else, try to make it a simple solution, right? And all that you can try out. Okay, but important point, making observations and trying to prove them before actually discussing the solution. Okay, is everyone clear till this point with problem solving? So these two are the most important aspect that develop with practice and structured practice, I would say, that you are doing it in such a way that you are actually learning the pattern, then you are trying it out. Okay, can we take maximum of 0 negative? No. Why? What if answer is just negative? You have to select 3 numbers, right? It does not give you an option. Can you see that? Yeah. Is that real-time question asked in Fang? I used to ask it at Tower, and I used to modify this also. Instead of this 3, I would say now you have k, you have to select k numbers, and k will be given by me also. Like I can give you k5, k6, k7, and then you try to solve it. Okay, so there could be like things could be built upon this. Okay, cool. Moving on. So first aspect is problem solving that I have talked about here. Any questions related to this? You must have heard a lot about problem solving. So any questions related to this, please ask. Then I'll move on to other aspects that we need to cover for interview. What was the issue with absolute values? Sure. So issue with absolute values, just taking absolute top 3 is so if I take top 3 here, it will be 30, 20, minus 20. What will be the product? Negative of 12,000, right? But it's negative. So this is not right. Do you agree? We had to select 3 so that product is maximum, negatives are minimum. Okay, so a better answer would have been if I selected minus 20, 10, and 30, which is 6,000, which is more than minus 12,000. Okay, cool. That was the main point. Okay, I'll quickly go through the questions. Logic is easy, but code part is difficult. Not really. We'll come to this. Like we'll do this question in sorting or something. Then we'll discuss about how to code it out also. What could be approach if k, it is k then? So if you have done prefix suffix, so pre-computation, then that approach is used here. Okay, so it's not a heavy question, just prefix suffix sum are used here, pre-computation techniques. That's a pattern, right, Tarun? Yeah, but there are a few more steps to go to that approach. Backtracking? No. Backtracking can be done storing maximum and minimum of what? I'm not able to get that. Okay, everyone is trying to do it for K. Don't do it right now. It is a slightly difficult question. If you want, I'll take it up once I cover all the portions, right? Then I can talk in detail about it. Prefix sum with two pointer. Two pointer is not required. Just prefix sum, and it will be like a quick solve. Okay, I'll talk about that at the end. Let's quickly go through the other aspects also. Second important aspect after problem solving is clean coding. Ability to write clean code. So as an example, I'll give you a small example. Let's say I say x equal to 157. Then I write a code for I equal to 0, I less than x, I plus plus. Then I say s of I dot func. Okay. Does this code have any meaning? Like, are you able to see what is x, what is I, what is happening, what is func? No, right? Let me to take the same code and write it in a cleaner fashion. Okay. So I'll write something like student count equal to 157. Then I'll say for int student equal to 0, student less than student count, student plus plus. Okay. Then I'll say student list of student dot grant access. So what I've done is kept the same code, but just gave better variable names. So this is my number of students that I have. Then I'm iterating on those students and saying student list of that student number, grant access. So this code, like grant access might be some function that might be doing certain stuff, interacting with DB, granting access. But anyone who looks at this would be clearly able to tell that what I'm trying to do is taking a list of students and trying to grant them access. Yes or no? Right? Like, for example, Ishan said that I use this for granting access to these students, like you guys right now, to the Renaissance, right? So, but anyone who looks at this will be able to build over it, do more stuff over it, right? If let's say this slightly changed, I have now 2 student list. He'll be able to say, okay, student list 1, student list 2, I have 2. I'll append them to student list and then run the same part. Okay. If it is this, I'll be confused. What is happening here? Right? And if someone gives me this and says, you need to add another student list here, I'll be confused how to do it. What is this SI? What is this func? What is happening here? Right? So yeah. So basically, this is the importance of writing clean code, that it gives you ability to collaborate, which is an important thing that software developers do. It's not your code. It's a code which many people are going to contribute to, right? So it should be something which is understood by other people. Am I making sense why clean code is important? Why writing clean code is important? Everyone? Okay. So what comes under this are some object-oriented programming principles, some design principles and patterns. Okay. So there is solid principle, there are more patterns and principles like that. So these are like people have done some research and tried to come up with the perfect solutions and perfect things to solve certain problems. So as an example, let's say someone wants to create like a pizza delivery platform, right? And it is customizable. You can add mushroom, you can add other stuff onto the pizza, right? So Someone has built a pattern around it that, okay, if I want to give flexibility to build a pizza to the user, this is how I should go about writing code for it. Okay. So these are different principles and patterns. So pizza example was a little weird, but yeah. So basically there are different principles and patterns that are used to solve certain aspects of problem, again, corresponding to the pattern recognition part. Okay. So these are the major things that you need to cover in clean coding. Am I making sense? Yes or no? Yeah. Okay. Cool. So that is the second aspect. Again, very, very important, especially for freshers these days. It is being asked a lot. Let's move on to the third one. Third one, which is CS fundamentals. So there are three important, okay, that part is not visible. Anyways, it's just CS fundamentals. So three important subjects that you need to know in limited depth, right? First one is operating system. So I'll tell you example. So let's say you decide that, okay, now I want to do an internship at Programming Pathshala. You come here, you interact with our code judge, right? So many people are submitting problems. Let's say we grow to around million users. Okay. Now, those million users are submitting their problem solutions in our coding judge. Okay. So there is a code file which comes to your system. Your system runs it and gives an output that, okay, this is accepted, this is wrong answer, this is time limit exceeded. Everyone has interacted with the coding judge, a system which takes code, takes input test case, runs it, then gives an output that whether this is accepted, wrong answer, TLE, things like that. Yes, no, everyone else? Have you interacted with such a system? Okay. Now let's say what happens. You see that because of these many users, something is happening that this system is again and again going down. It is saying there is no memory in the machine. Okay. Yeah, or CPU usage goes 100%. So how do you debug it? There would be different reasons for this happening. There might be someone who has copy pasted a huge code, let's say millions and millions lines of code, and just dumped it there and submitted it. So we are not able to handle such a huge code. Or there could be a reason that some input file which was created by our problem setter is very huge and we are not able to bring it up to the system and run it. Okay. So there will be thousand different reasons why this is happening. But to debug this, you need to know certain tools, right? That how memory is being used by operating systems so that you are able to at least tell, okay, this is the problem and this is the problem. This is the part that we have to fix. Okay. Yeah, we need to do priority. We need to restrict that, okay, your input code must be till this much size, or we need to restrict that, okay, your basically number of solutions that you can put is at max 3, not more than that in, let's say, a minute or something like that. So some kind of restriction. Like, have you tried lead code? If you try to quickly submit 2 times, it says you need to buy a premium. You can't do it that quickly. I'm not sure how many of you have observed that, right? So it must have tried to prevent that, okay, too many like submissions in very quick time frames might not be allowed. Okay. So yeah, operating system, that is how is memory and CPU managed in a system is very, very important. Memory management and CPU management. These two are very, very important. Okay, next. There are 3 subjects, so I'll quickly go over them. Second one is computer networks. Okay. CodeChef has also, I have not observed that. Okay. Networks. So let's say you have built an app. Let's say it's like your famous dating website, like Tinder, right? Now what happens is that This is location sensitive. But you know, people use VPN to fake their location. Okay. How many of you know how VPN works? Do any of you know how VPN is able to spoof your location? Okay, 2-3 people do. How many of you don't? You can type in no. That's okay. No, right? Yeah, it's okay. Like, who goes on and search how it works? You just download it and use it. Okay. But as developer of this app, you need to be sensitive of location, because if anyone can explore any place, it might be a little bit of security threat that I'm going to some random location, stalking people and stuff like that, right? And matching also. So that might not be a good idea. So knowing functionality of VPN and being able to block it so that your app does not fall prey to this might be an important thing for you. So for that, you need to understand VPN, or if not, you need to at least understand the explanation of what VPN is, right? So where there will be an article, you read about it. If you don't know anything about network, you might not even understand what the article says, right? So for that, you need to know certain basic concepts of networks and how it works. Okay, our data is transmitted to a server present in that specific location, right? So every data that you send is first sent to that location, and then it sends to whatever server is, and then it returns back. Okay, so all your data is first sent there, and they direct it, like the VPN server directs it. So to prevent that redirection, you might need to do certain things so that location is still picked from your device and not from the VPN server. Okay, cool. So that is about networks. Then one more thing is databases. So these three are important subjects that you need to focus on: operating system, networks, databases. Is that okay, everyone? Yes or no? CS fundamentals, these three important subjects. So till now we have covered problem solving, clean coding, not covered, given introduction to, and CS fundamentals. One last important thing which these days is becoming important is something called as high level design. Or systemic design. Okay. Yeah. How many of you watched the India versus Pakistan cricket match from World Cup? It was famous all around LinkedIn that, okay, 2 crore or something people watched it together, right? And Hotstar was able to scale to that level. How many of you saw that news, that like everyone was praising Hotstar for being able to stream to 2 crore users simultaneously, right? So understanding a little bit how systems scale to a huge amount. Why is that a big deal? Why is streaming to 2 crore people a big deal? If you look at a single machine, it can hardly handle 10 to 20 simultaneous connections. Right? Now, what did Hotstar do? If we think about it, right? Yeah, exactly. So what did Hotstar basically, what all do Hotstar have to do? They'll pick that live feed. Then if you know, I'm not sure how many of you know this, in the cricket stadium, there are some banners here around. Do you know about that? Like there are some banners where some ads come, right? So these days what happens, this is all a green screen. So what Hotstar does is that they need to replace these screens with the localized ads. For example, if you are in Delhi, you might see some other ad. If you're in Bombay, you might see some other ad. So location wise, they had to put ads here, process the video, and then stream it across to the different users, right? With this constraint in mind, plus making sure that there is no delay, right? So that was a huge task that they were able to do, which is a huge thing. So that is why understanding a little bit about it, I'm not saying that you will understand everything. It would have been a huge collaborative effort, but understanding a little bit of how things scale, right? Let's say you had to scale just to 100 concurrent users also, then there might be certain things that you need to do so that you can handle 100 connections which are streaming video from you at the same time. Okay. No, so this is just an example. I'm not saying it will be 10 to 20. Google servers generally can handle a little more, but I'm saying that understanding that limit at least is important, and being able to scale to at least 10 times the size you are at right now is important. Okay. So yeah, these four things. Fifth is your a little bit of soft skills, I would say. A little bit of communication, a little bit of answering questions like what will you do if you are stuck at a question, right? Those kind of questions. So again, important not to know very good, not to have very good vocabulary is having good communication, right? Am I making sense? It's not like I am using some like huge vocabulary or something. It's just that I am able to convey whatever I'm thinking in plain English, right? And in a way that probably interests you so that you are able to stick around. Am I making sense? Yes or no? What is important from communication? Okay, so don't go about taking courses on vocabulary and English and stuff like that. It's just if you even stand in front of a mirror and are able to think and speak at the same time, whatever you are thinking in proper English, if you try it 4 or 5 times, you'll be good with it. Okay. Or if you are able to read a novel, think in English, and then like write a small summary, that should also be enough. Like those kind of things can also help. So if you are weak in that respect, fifth aspect, just try to overcome that. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Colleges have their old systems. Can exact 1 second. Can exact meaning of connection. Meaning of a connection. Okay, I'll tell you. So think in this. Let's say you are watching. You have to watch a match, right? So it must be streaming somewhere else. So you need to take data from here, byte by byte, and put it to this machine. Yes or no? So that is what I mean by a connection, that there is concurrent means it's at the same time. So there will be thousands and thousands of machines connecting at the same time. So they are able to get the live feed. Okay. So that is what I was telling about in terms of connection. From where we should study the computer fundamentals and how much time should we give? You have access to Renaissance. So if you want to do it parallelly, you can do it, start from there, right? That could also be a good idea. Multi-threading concepts, yeah, all that is covered there. Okay. There are some books also, but these days people are reluctant to read from books. But if you would like, you can ping me and I'll help you out with that. Okay, cool. So that was about the introduction of these four concepts. Didn't get access? Yeah, you'll get it. Don't worry. From basics. We'll do some of them in the duration of this camp. For others, you can explore on the website, right? And later on, probably if you want, you can upgrade also and stuff like that. Cool. So if you have any questions, feel free to shoot them out. Otherwise, what we'll do, we'll try to do that TRC question right now. And we'll cover that quickly. So any questions so far, please ask. Quick recap of these four concepts. Sure. So I'll quickly write them. First was problem solving. Second was clean coding, which took OOPS and design pattern stress principles in it. Third was CS fundamentals. which were my 3 subjects: OS, DBMS, and computer networks. Last was my systemic design. How systems scale. Okay. Cool. In this comes TSA, pattern recognition, and making observations and proving them. Cool. DSA coding questions. I'll do that. The question that negative wala question, na? I'll do that quickly. Anything else? Anyone? Any question? Please let me know. Otherwise, I'll take up that question, complete it, and then we'll quickly wrap up today. And I'll give you some things to read for tomorrow. I'll do a quick 5th and 6th here. Soft skills. Communicate well. That is the most important thing. There are a few more, like you need to be confident and stuff like that. And last is a project. Project for your resume. For that, you need to know a latest tech and build something end to end. So I suggest a website or an app because that is the most common these days. So can do project also, right? Here, that is important. Internship important. Internship is like improved project, right? So project or internship, I can say here, but you'll not get an intern as long as you don't have a project, right? So first project, then intern. Novelty in our project: solve a real life problem. It need not be novel. It should be having some meaning. For an example, people submit so people submitting something like attendance management using blockchain might be a good thing, but right now it does not make sense spending so much of energy of blockchain for just managing attendance, right? And it needs not be that secure. So a better thing is to do something which is practical and which is something that has some meaning. Why are you doing this, right? So as an example, what I did was that our college did not have a coding judge kind of setup. So I built a small one so that we can organize some small contests there. Although it did not launch, but still it was a good thing that I built. So I could say the reason for it, right? At least. Cool. There are some more questions. Okay. Is it based on projects or features and product? Then it would be great. Okay. From where can we get real-time questions asked in Fang? You don't need those. Again, just focus on this because they keep on changing, right? What would you do? Will you learn everything? Then you'll get into your first job 3 years down the line. Again, you are at the same level. Again, you have to mug up everything and then go to the next one. So that's not a scalable and practical solution, and you reach nowhere there. Rather than understanding certain patterns and having them in mind forever is much better. Should be there in a working professional resume. One good one and one small one will be enough. But one good one is even more than sufficient. If it's something which is practical enough, which you have deployed somewhere, which you have a link to in your resume, that's good enough. One good project. Cool. Pattern, do you mean that techniques like 2-pointer approach? So 2 pointers, I'll take it to 2 pointers is an algorithm, right? Where all can 2 pointers be used? That is technique. For example, if there is a binary search solution, so I'll also mention this sometime. So if your binary search solution is like, if you search a pair for the first, you reach here, then you search a pair for the next, you reach ahead, then you search for a pair, you reach even ahead. So when this is moving forward, this is also moving forward. Then this indicates 2-pointer, or the opposite, that if your binary search approach for the first reaches here, for the second reaches below, like behind, third reaches more behind, then your 2 pointers are moving in opposite direction. So there are these kind of patterns which you can observe in different questions, and then be able to point out that, okay, 2 pointers is nothing but an optimization over binary search. So whatever question is solved by binary search, I need to look, are the pointers moving in one of the 2 patterns? If they are, then probably using 2 pointers makes sense. Okay. Cool. Yeah, so these kind of things is important. Can you share a list of buzzwords like 2-pointer approach? If you have the access to dashboard, there will be list of all the things that we cover, right? Those are the buzzwords. Okay, even if you go to our main website, we have syllabus, section 1, section 2, section 3. You can read from there if you want. Those lists are available everywhere. No need to worry too much about that. What you need to worry is how to take your first step. Cool. Which you have taken by enrolling in this workshop. Yeah. Great. I'll quickly take up that one question and like the question that we were doing and drive it to the end. Okay. So that question was simply that, let's say we are given an array. And we have to find 3 numbers whose product is maximum. Do you all remember this question? Let's get back to this, then we can take up more problems or more doubts later. Everyone remembers this question? Given an array, find 3 numbers whose product is maximum. Yes, no. Yep. Okay. Let's do it for 3 first. We did not solve it completely. So we came up with 3 options that we had, right? First option was all 3 positives I'll take. Second option was I'll take 2 negatives and 1 positive. Then someone suggested, what if all is negative? So then we suggested we'll take all 3 negatives, which are smallest absolute. Do you remember these 3? Anything that you want me to recall from here, let me know. Otherwise, type in a yes if you remember this. Point 1, 2, 3. Yep. Okay. So if we are taking all 3 positives, which one should we take? Is the video lagging? Someone is asking if the video is lagging. Yes, no. Is it lagging for you? No lag. Okay. If you are facing a lag, I would suggest just I'll wait for 1 minute. Just drop off and quickly join back, right? Sometimes Zoom's video might lag. So just drop off and quickly join back. Okay. All 3 positives, what to take, which numbers to take if all 3 are positive. Max ones. Do you agree? If I want to select 3 positives, my best bet would be on top 3. Why should I select something smaller? Yes or no? Can I say this case is also top 3? If all are negative, I want to select the smallest absolute. That means the top 3, right? Yes or no, everyone? These 2 are exactly the same. I'm selecting the top 3 in both the cases. This will be a different case, right? I'll talk about that. But these 2 seem the same. No, Rakesh, what? Yeah. So if you're not able to understand this, okay, I'll repeat it quickly. So what I'm saying is, This was the first case when I want to select 3 positive numbers, right? So what do you think? Should I select something like 5, 6, 7 if I have an option? Or should I select something like 10, 12, 14 if I have the option? Obviously this, right? Which are greater. Yes or no? So for this case, my bet will be on the top 3 number, which are highest, right? So here the best bet will be on 10, 6, 5. Everyone agrees to this first part? Others? Yes, no. So we are sorting the array. I'll come to sorting, but I'm trying to again move you in that direction. Why sorting, right? So that will be directly given by this. If we understand that we want to select maximum 3, we automatically go towards sort, because when we go towards sort, we take the last 3. Yes or no? Right. Okay. Next, if all are negative. So I said I'll select the smallest absolute ones. This is again the top 3. So as an example, okay, -3, -2, -1, these are the top 3. If everything is negative, then top 3 will be your least negative. Yes or no? That this is also top 3. So this is only for all negative. If everything is negative, so you want to select the minimum, in a way, absolute value. Which are your top 3, right? What is top? This is what is top 3 or what is maximum 3? It's the one in number line. Those are at the right side. So -3, -4, -5 will be on the right side of the number line. These will be on the left side. So these are the top 3, right? So all negative case also points towards top 3. I'll come to code, man. Abhi logic to discuss ho jaye pehle. Okay, let's talk about the second case. What do you think in second case? We have to select 2 negatives and 1 positive. Which 2 negative do you think we should select? In this case only, like if we had some positives also. Which 2 negatives should I select? Right, most negatives, right? So can I say these are bottom 2? Yes or no? They were the top 3 negatives. These are the bottom 2 negatives, right? And this 1 positive has to be the top 1. So basically, all my cases point to either select maximum 3 or select maximum 1 and bottom 2. Yes or no? These are the 2 possible places where your solution might lie, right? And whenever I want to select top and bottom, I can simply sort it, because when I sort it, they get arranged in ascending order. So I can easily select the like first few and the last few. So if I sort the array, first step is sorting the array. Let's take this array only. I'll get -20, -10, -5, -4, -3, 6, 8, 10. Now either I'll select the top 3, which is 6, 8, 10, or I'll select top 1 and bottom 2. So I'll say maximum of either you take 0, 1, and last, or you take last, second last, and third last. Does this make sense? After sorting, either we take bottom two, that is 0 and 1, and last, which is n minus 1, or you take last three, which is n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3, assuming n is the size of the array. Is everyone able to understand this? So code will be literally two line: sort my array, depends upon syntax, how you write it. Like if it's Python, you will write l dot sort. If it's Java, you'll write collections dot sort, right? Whatever sort you are doing. Then you just print maximum of these two. Can you please also explain which sorting algorithm we should use in this case? Without sort, it would be tough. We can do it. I'll take up both the questions. So see, we are not discussing sorting algorithms right now. So we have not covered those. But generally, every language has a sort. So for now, you can assume simply that sort works. Okay. What if only last two numbers are positive? Then it will automatically, so see, what will happen? If only last two are positive, this will be negative. Do you agree? This will be negative. This part, n minus 1 into n minus 2 into n minus 3, this will become negative. And this will be the highest automatically. If there are just two positives, so automatically your answer is this into first. Sorry, this into first two, which happens here. Right? So in all the cases, we are only getting this as an option or this as an option. So just this much is enough. Differently where all numbers are 0 except 2. No, that will also be 0. Then the answer will have to be 0, right? If except 2, everything is 0. This one, simple cases like when top 3 are the best. So as an example, if here I put 100 and a 200, these three automatically become best, right? These two cases, top 3, when your answer is by taking all 3 positive, or if everything is negative and you want to take top 3. So these two cases will be handled by second condition. Got it? Okay. How to capture which case? How can we write for k numbers? I'll come to that. Let everyone first digest 3 numbers, then I'll come to k numbers. Okay. So any doubt with 3 numbers, let me know. Could you repeat code arrival once? Sure, I'll do it again. So you understood these 3 conditions, right? These 3 conditions we came up with. Everyone, did you understand these 3 conditions? Okay, cool. So let's analyze them in a little more depth. Okay, let's analyze in a little more depth. So what I'm saying is our answer could be one of the 3. So it could either be all 3 positives. Answer could be all taking 3 positive numbers. Now the question was which 3 positives. So everyone suggested maximum 3. Where will the maximum 3 lie? When I sort, they'll lie at the end, which is this. Do you understand this? First condition, how does it bring out to this case? Half. Yes, no. Others? How the first condition brings us to this case. After sorting, the maximum 3 numbers will be at the end. So I'll take this. Yes or no? I don't think Sujay it will be available. I need to check. It might have become available. It's on Gypsy. Okay, great. You can send a link if you want. Yeah. Then the second case was if I take 2 negatives and 1 positive. So I asked everyone which 2 negatives. So everyone said bottom 2. And which 1 positive? The top 1. So after sorting, I need to take the bottom 2 and the last one, right? Which brings us to this case. After sorting, take the bottom 2 or this last one. And maximum of these 2 is the answer, because either the answer will be in this case or the answer will be in this case. So I'll just take their products and take the maximum out of them. Was that clear? How we arrived at this statement, maximum. Then I'll come to the third case. That's the second thing. But from first two cases, the first two cases that we arrived at, we have got this statement. Is that much clear to everyone? Any doubts still here? Please ask. Okay. Last thing was, what happens if all numbers are negative? So again, if all numbers are negative, I need to take the like minimum absolute value ones, right? So basically again the top three. So that condition will also be satisfied here because this is our answer. This is something less than the answer. So maximum of them will give me the answer. Are you able to get that? That even third case is included here and will not create an issue. Okay. Please repeat. Sure. This last part, all negative. Janji. Okay, I'll repeat it. So I'm saying if all numbers are negative, okay, let's take a case. Then when I sort them, what will I get? This. Do you agree? Right? Where is your answer? This. These three. So I'm saying even in that case, this statement gives the correct answer because this is present at the end. Are you able to see it now? So even though it was a corner case, in our expression, it is handled itself, like by itself. We don't need to do anything special here. Okay. What if we have positive? Then this case does not apply, right? If we have positive, then this case is gone. It does not apply. We only have the first two cases where the answer is already perfect. Do you agree? This case only applies for all negatives and does not apply otherwise. -10, -20, -30, -3, -5, 6, 7, 8. Then sorting. Let's sort it. So like you are saying -20, this, then 6, 7, 8, right? So again the same. Either you take these three or you take these two and this, which is what we are doing here. That is a standard case, right? That is not a corner case then. Only the corner case was problem. Do you agree? Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, now when it was extended to K, what changed? Now what changed it is there are only not two conditions now, that 0 negatives, 2 negatives, but there could be more, right? For example, if K is, let's say I want to select 5 numbers, now I can take 0 negatives, 5 positives, or I can take 2 negatives, 3 positives, or I can take 4 negatives and 1 positive. Do you agree? Like my number of negatives should be even. That was the only constraint. So now I have more cases. Everyone, do you agree? That with K increasing, if this would have been 6, there would have been more cases. 0, 6, 2, 4, 4, 2, and 6, 0. More cases, right? So, but the core logic remains the same. After sorting, if I want to select 4 negatives and 1 positive, it must be the bottom 4 and top 1. Yes or no? Core logic remains the same, right? Even in this case, I'll select the bottom 4 and the top 1, which is at the end. So this directly points out to that I'll select a prefix here. What is a prefix? A part of the array that starts at the beginning. And I'll take a suffix here, a part of the array that is at the end. Yes or no? Everyone? Yep. So anyways, if you have not done prefix suffix, this might be a little difficult to understand. So as soon as you are done with prefix, observing that this is prefix suffix, then you can simply do it via prefixum suffixum. If you have not covered that part, it's in first section of the array. You can cover that and then probably try to understand this. Okay. Yeah, so we need basically product of first like prefix, product of every suffix, which we can do using some pre-computation, right? And we'll be able to sort it out. Cool. So that is all I think for today. I'll stay here just in case you have any doubts, any questions. I'll be happy to answer those. For tomorrow, what you can do is just there is a topic in module 1, which is time and space complexity. So anyone who does not understand what time and space complexity is, or even if you do, please revise this portion, right? Time and space complexity. As it was an introduction class web of today, we don't have any assignment as such, but we have like some lectures that you should watch. Okay, so just watch time and space complexity. Plus tomorrow we'll start with basics of recursion. So I'll also put some first 5-6 videos of recursion that you can watch in your own time. Okay, there will be short videos, like probably 5-10 minutes. So just you can quickly skim through those. Why we have not taken case of all negatives in coding? Sure, I'll repeat that. So let's look at all negatives again. Okay, if all are negative, when I sort, I get this. Do you agree? So sort of thought it will evolve a little bit, right? So I have made some prepared plan